This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Local hospitals are seeing more and more cases of COVID-19. We have the latest on the pandemic in our area next. Hi everyone, and thank you for your time today. I'm Ken Carr with your local information. The Vice Chair of Medicine for Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, Dr. Jody Lenko, talks with our Lisa Sugart about the Omicron variant of COVID-19 and more in today's news feature.
The Omicron variant is another strain of the COVID-19 virus. It's the newest one that many of you have already heard about. It originally was noticed in South Africa, quickly spread. So that was why one of the reasons why it's come to press so quickly is because of how quickly it spreads. So within a couple of days of notifying that they found it in South Africa, it was also found in China. And then quickly across into Europe and now into North America. So what it is, it's just a different strain of COVID, and it unfortunately has a couple additional mutations on it, and that's what viruses do. They like to mutate, they like to change, and the more virus that's out in the community, the more likely it is to change. And we're learning more and more about Omicron. We don't have a lot of personal experience with it yet in the United States. But we do know that it is in multiple states. I think the last count that I saw was about 35 states. And it's now accounting for about 3% of all of our COVID infections.
So now when we look at this, when we look at Omicron, when you have people coming into the hospital, are they being tested specifically for Omicron? Do we know how many people have this, or is that too difficult to do?
As of right now, I do not know that a case has been identified in our region, especially in the Hazleton area. I have not heard of a case. That being said, we're not checking all patients that come in with COVID for the Omicron variant. The majority of cases are still the Delta variant. So we will continue to search for it, and the CDC does a good job of sampling the labs out of each state, and that's how they usually identify these cases pretty quickly. They kind of get a sampling of all the different labs across the state to get an understanding of how much Omicron is in the community. So right now, it's probably not here that much. We're still dealing with mostly Delta variant, but we do know that the Omicron variant does tend to spread more quickly, and we do know that that's something of concern. What we're hoping is that some of the rumors and the things that we've heard about it are that it might not be quite as severe as the Delta. And we're all keeping our fingers crossed that that's indeed the case. We just don't know yet.
How are things at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton right now? Are you getting a lot of COVID patients still? Are things starting to wind down a little bit or not?
I wish I had better news to report, but unfortunately over the last 2 weeks, relatively since Thanksgiving, we've actually seen a really significant increase in our hospitalizations from COVID across the network. So whether it's in Hazleton, Pocono, our Schuylkill campus, Muhlenberg, and our Cedar Crest campus, we are all very stressed right now with both COVID infections and also other hospitalizations. So all of our systems right now are incredibly stressed. And I'm hearing the same reports from all of the other community hospitals too. So right now is really tricky. It's a really challenging time to be both a patient, a family member. We ask for everybody's patience. We're also dealing with a lot of staffing shortages. That's not just within our own network, that's across the board. So we're navigating that the best we can, trying to leverage other avenues of healthcare. So trying to leverage video visits when we can, trying to keep people out of the emergency rooms if they don't need to be there. So really, I encourage everybody, if you can, reach out to your primary care doctor, reach out to your urgent care, use video visits when appropriate. Try to do everything you can. If you don't feel like you need to go to the emergency room, try to stay away, but certainly they're there if you need them we don't want delay in care, but it is a struggle right now.
And is it the majority of patients that you are keeping in the hospital with COVID have not been vaccinated, or does that vary?
No, it's been pretty steady in that there's about an 80% of our patients in the hospital are unvaccinated, and an even much higher percentage of patients that are in the ICU and on the ventilator. I've seen upwards of 95 to 98% of those patients that are on the ventilator or in the ICU in our health system are unvaccinated. So we do know that there are more and more breakthrough infections, but meaning that a patient has had a positive COVID test after being vaccinated with two full dose vaccines. But the vast majority of those people are not getting severely sick and are not ending up in the hospital. So I think I look at it as an attribute of how successful the vaccine is, even though it's potentially causing, you're getting COVID, you're not getting sick, you're not ending up in the hospital. And at the end of the day, that's what we wanted to do.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Frankie's Pizzeria and Restaurant in downtown Hazleton. For more information on their specials, hours, and where you can find their delicious tavern pizza, you can call 570-454-6000 or you can visit their Facebook page.
The United Way of Greater Hazleton is helping families in need this holiday season. Due to the pandemic, they won't have their annual community Christmas dinner in person, but they are providing Boyer's Supermarket gift cards to their agencies. The gift cards will be handed out by Catholic Social Services, the Commission on Economic Opportunity, the Salvation Army, and United Charities. If you are in need, you can contact the charities for a gift card. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is also helping with the program.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Here's our forecast from the National Weather Service. On Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 46 degrees, wind gusts as high as 23 miles per hour. On Friday night, rain likely, mainly after 4 a.m., mostly cloudy with a low around 33 degrees. We have a 60% chance of precipitation. New precipitation amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch possible. Saturday, rain and sleet becoming all rain after 10 a.m. We have a 90% chance of precipitation. The high will be near 38 degrees. On Saturday night, rain likely, mostly cloudy with a low around 29 degrees. We have a 60% chance of precipitation. Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 34 degrees. Sunday night, mostly clear with a low around 19 degrees. Monday, sunny with a high near 34 degrees. And Monday night, partly cloudy with a low around 26 degrees. Another milestone was reached early this winter sports season by a local athlete. Here's the SSPTV Standard Speaker scoreboard. Hazleton area swimmer Sadie Hunsinger got her 1,000th career point as Hazleton lost to Central Columbia. Hunsinger won the 50 free and the 100 breaststroke. The Hazleton boys beat Central Columbia in the pool. Liam Leonard, Tommy Pollock, Logan Yakubowski, and Ryan Kovalik won the 200 medley relay. Pollock, Yakubowski, Leonard, and Tino Dayut won individual events. Hazleton area and Marion won girls basketball games, plus Hazleton and North Schuylkill got wins in wrestling. We're going to take a break, but stay tuned for our community and sports feature stories.
The Hazleton Fraternal Order of Police Power City Lodge number 18 would like to announce the 5th annual Blue Santa Project. This year there will be 101 children on Santa's list, from infants until 12 years old. Toy donations are currently being accepted at the Hazleton Police Department. SSPTV News would send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Anna Dorothy Morey, age 77, of drums. A service will be held on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. at the Stegale Memorial Home in Ashton. Friends may call on Saturday from 10 to 10:30 a.m. at the funeral home. John N. Thomas, age 44, of McAdoo. Mass will be held on Saturday at 11 a.m. at Our Lady of Lourdes Roman Catholic Church. Friends may call on Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. at the church. The Lamar Chris Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. And William C. Whitner, age 83, of Berwick. Services will be held at the convenience of the family under the Harmon Funeral Home.
Tonight's obituaries are being brought to you in part by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory, with 2 locations in Rockland and in Drums, 570-384-3312 or 570-788-0977, and go to harmonfuneral.com.